so much for taking the time. First off, I just want to point out, as you know, we do these every single week, typically on Thursdays at 2 p.m. Today, we made a slight shift in the schedule. It's Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern. So we're doing a webinar Wednesday for the annuity side, and then next week, back to normal schedule on Thursdays. So, what I want to talk about quickly, and I have about 5 or 6 slides here, and then our coach Chris is going to take the wheel. But we've been marketing this for a couple weeks now, and I think what's so important is we have 24,000 plus agents all over the U.S. in almost every city in the U.S. And I would say 10 years ago, right, we probably had around 80% life agents and about 20% focused on the annuity side primarily. And as the years went on, and what's unbelievable to me is now it's closer to 55, 45, right? We're almost dead center 50-50 when it comes to life and annuity. And what's most impressive is we're seeing the life side, right? If you look at a big bucket of agents, the life side, the life agents are now selling more and more annuities, which is awesome to see and hear because number one, that means you as an agent, as a financial advisor, right? That means you're supplementing your income. You're helping more and more clients with both sides. You're not losing the business to other agents, which potentially could mean you're losing a client for not just the annuity side, maybe you referred out, but also the life side that you were originally helping that client with. So it's so important that you wear two hats, right? And that you don't have to be the annuity guru, right? You've been doing this for 32 and a half years. No. Okay. If you're the life guru, that's fine. Know enough to be dangerous. And that's why you're here today and know who to call, right? When you need support. Okay. Maybe if the consumer brings up a product you have no idea, you never heard about, reach out to our annuity team. We have 4 people here to help you in 2 different states, okay? Between Josh heading up the department with RJ's support, Michelle, Ashley Keene on the contracting side. We're all dedicated to our agents on the annuity side 110%. So just know that, right? And for you all seasoned annuity agents, you're going to learn a lot today, okay? And here's why. With so much going on in this current environment, right? With some of the tax changes, the big beautiful bill, right? Some of the new strategies that are now available, these new door openers you need to know about, right? Because the questions are going to come up, especially because clients, prospects are utilizing AI now, right? Google is your friend search engine isn't just about Google and the internet anymore. It's also about AI that's built in. So the information is flowing at such a fast rate in almost real time to your consumer. So again, you have to have your finger on the pulse. Okay. So you can sound intelligent, help these clients make more sales. It's a win-win-win across the board. And that specific reason is why every quarter we bring in a third party industry consultant. Okay, my favorite consultant. We call him Coach Chris. And what's so great about Chris and what he brings to the table, he's not tied to one carrier. Okay, yes, the annuity VPs are great. They do a great job in their trainings. In fact, we had a big meeting in house yesterday, okay, with Coach Charles from Corbridge. Okay, he's fantastic. But of course, and you can bet on it, he's going to push and market his own products. Okay, he doesn't make a penny if he talks about Athene and Equitrust. Okay, even though they all have great products, we know how it goes. Well, guess what? Chris isn't tied to one carrier or a handful of products. He is tied to the entire industry. So he's going to tell us what's hot, what's not, and he's going to come at it from a third party perspective, which I love. So again, That's why we love having these every quarter. We're wrapping up now, quarter three, and then, of course, we'll have one at the end of the year for Q4, and we'll wrap up 2025, and then we'll go into 26 with the support of Chris as well. So sit back, relax, enough of my ranting, take plenty of notes. Use that Q&A, that question pane. You can expand or minimize. It's part of the go-to webinar software. We want to hear from you. If you don't know something, or if you want us to shed some more light on a certain topic or product or carrier, just let us know, and then we will follow up as soon as we're done. Okay, so just know that, and please, we want to hear feedback as well, good, bad, and different. It's very important we create these trainings around you. Okay, so please jump in, and we're going to have our question of the day right before we wrap up at 3 p.m. Eastern time. All right, so let's jump in here. What I want to do first is talk about the industry as a whole. Before Chris takes the wheel, just a couple of stats that I want to point out, and these are so important. By the way, talk about a Google search and AI, you can do the same thing. All we did is we used ChatGPT and Limra and came up with everything that you are looking at on this slide. And here's what's so important. It looks like 25 is going to wrap up to be a record year again, okay, especially in the FIA space. So let's take a look on the bottom right-hand side, that small chart where it says breakdown by product type. Look at number one is FIAs at over $120 billion plus dollars, okay? So do you think you need to be focused on FIAs? Do you think you need to know enough to be dangerous? Absolutely. And again, that's why we set up this training just for you all, right? To move the needle when it comes to marketing and selling FIA products, the best of the best. Okay, and then let's move over to the left bottom corner, why agents should be excited. So massive demand, 4.2 million Americans are turning 65 this year, the peak 65 wave. So do you think that, and knowing that's the sweet spot, especially for FIA products, right, your marketing should be shifted to that demographic. Or if you're using our database, right, through Agency Automator, right, you can create lists around people turning 65. So you can start marketing through e-blasts, mailers, and phone calls. Just under that guaranteed income, top of mind, 68% of financial advisors are recommending annuities, right? And the big magic question is accumulation or income, right? Period. And that's it. That's the magic question. You get the answer, you should be off to a 60-second close. Digital platforms, right? Look how much the annuity space has changed, especially since COVID. Okay, so now 35% of annuity sales are incorporating digital platforms into the sale. Years ago, it was a 42.5-page application that by the time you were done, the client was already on vacation and you missed the sale. So now it's so much easier, right? We already know what tools are available at Levinson. We have the new Affirm e-app through iPipeline that we're going to show you in a little bit. And then on the bottom, right, it's the same exact thing. It's how the latest technology is now integrated with most annuity platforms, especially with Levinson and Associates. So let's keep moving forward. What I want to do is talk about our biggest meeting, our big powwow of the year, and it's the 2026 Expo is back bigger and better than ever, and that's my promise to you on record. Okay, the new hashtag, the new theme for 26 is stack the bricks in 26, right? That's what it's all about. It's so you can reinvent yourself, move the needle on the life and annuity side. We're going to bring in the top carriers, VPs, keynotes, agents, agent panel. Okay, we'll have over 300 agents here on the beach in South Florida. Make sure that you register. Save the date now, and then you'll see the registration email in the next few weeks. But most important, look at the right-hand side, the bottom corner there. Starting at 40,000, we added a new level here, but you can literally fly in, round trip. We pay for everything. We even have agents coming from Hawaii. Okay, so you can fly in round trip on us, plus 2 free nights at our complimentary beachfront resort. You get a suite on the sand. Okay, plus the hotel was just renovated. 100%. So everything will be done by April 17th. So make sure you're in. Do not miss this day. Let's keep moving forward. Some of our latest testimonials that I wanted to share quickly. The left side is Josh, who runs the annuity side, gets these almost once a week, and we love to see it, Josh. This is excellent service. Thank you so much. From Brian R. We appreciate you. He just wrote his first app, so love to see it. Right-hand side, Kim, you did a great job in helping me. Kim is our case manager, and Edward, the agent, wrote that on our Facebook page. So again, just please keep sharing. This is what moves the needle for us internally. And in fact, we just had a luncheon yesterday based around our agent feedback. We call it kudos, and we share it with the team. So you can go on Google reviews or, again, the Levinson Facebook page. We send you a prospecting book complimentary as soon as you do. Let's keep moving forward. I have 3 more slides, and then I'll wrap up, and Chris will take the wheel. Okay, our latest 411 newsletter. We just sent this out last night. Hopefully you received it. If you didn't, let us know. That means we have your incorrect email address. But here's what's important about this is with all of our trainings, our podcasts, even the quarterly calls with Chris that you're listening to now, right? You need to know what's hot, what's not, what's new, what's fresh, what's exciting, what new lead programs did you roll out, Bill? Everything is here. So please, all you have to do every other week, this will be in your inbox. Take a quick look. Okay, see whatever pertains to you or what you're interested in, and you're done. It's very simple. Okay, we simplify your world so you don't have to go to 215 different websites, okay, and poke around and remember passwords and logins and everything else. Okay, next slide is our annuity department, which, like I said earlier, has grown so much over the last few years, especially. But check out the latest incentives. So you talk about growth, right? You talk about yourself moving the needle, right? Using a marketing budget, marketing dollars. We have the MAP program that we have like literally half of our annuity agents now maximizing, utilizing the benefits, E&O insurance paid for, okay, marketing dollars. The list goes on and on. Check that out when you can. And then, of course, on top of that, we have the Expo qualification where all of your annuity and life apps count towards that round trip airfare and the beachfront suite paid for by Levinson. So on top of that, all of the carrier incentives, which is on our, we have an annuity incentives folder on our website, but these are a few examples: Corebridge, Equitrust, F&G, but there's about 10 more that's sitting in the incentives folder. We'll send a thank you email out to everyone so you can check that out on our website when you get a chance. Let's go to the next slide. This is my final slide, and then Chris will take the wheel real fast. So Levinson Annuity Department, the 100-foot overview, and this is what's important, left-hand side. What you're going to notice is 40 carriers, 40 direct access companies. You're not 27 layers under a GA, who's under an MGA, who's under a BGA, who's under an IMO. No, it's you and the carrier, period. Okay, now for commissions, for servicing, it's very important to know that in each carrier, okay, we don't just have them because it's another name. They each represent a niche in the annuity space depending on your client's needs and your needs as the agent. Okay, so Josh and RJ can definitely dive in and explain more. Or if you have a guy, you have a girl, you need to know where to place that client, they will help you with that. No problem at all. Send an email or just call in anytime. Let's keep moving forward. What I want to do next is introduce my friend we have one more slide here. I'm sorry. And then we're going to introduce my friend, Chris. So this was Coach Charles. So real fast, what I want to mention on the bottom there, you're going to see that was our in-house meeting we had yesterday. And this was all about the 60-second close by Coach Charles. So great meeting. And what's so awesome is we did a webinar with him, okay, based on the same method. And that was launched the week before. So what we're going to do is we're going to include the webinar. We're going to include our free 8-week workshop with Coach Charles in our thank you email. So you can register for that, but everything will be in the thank you email tonight. Okay, so keep your eyes peeled for that. And now we'll move on to my friend, Coach Chris, okay, our third-party annuity consultant. He's going to take it from here. Chris, are you there, bud?
I'm here. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, perfect. Loud and clear.
Awesome. Fantastic. As always, appreciate Levinson and Associates having me on here. So thank you so much for having me on here. Always appreciate the support that I see from Andrew and Josh, and of course, Bill there. So you guys are in great hands. But without further ado, I want to jump right in because we have a lot to talk about. This is always a great time in the annuity world to get a presentation going, to do a webinar, to do a quarterly webinar, because right after Labor Day, these companies are trying to show off and hit numbers. And what I want to present to you are some new things that have come out here that you need to be aware of, and then kind of look at the market as a whole at the same time. Folks, I know we have all kinds on these presentations. I know that. I know we have folks who are very green with annuities, who are thinking about jumping in, as well as some veteran seasoned salespeople at the same time. All are welcome because it does take all kinds. But I do want to talk about these sales and what we saw last year in 2024, because if you're not on board, you need to be on board now. This is what we are seeing. Last year, sales power to a record. Bill kind of talked about this a little bit. We look at these numbers here. I'm focusing on the far right with the green bar and the orange bar. That green bar is your fixed deferred products like your MIGAs. And that orange bar are your fixed index annuity products. You'll notice in 2023 there, far and away, you had a lot more sales of fixed deferred products like multi-year guarantees. But in 2024, indexed annuities really closed the gap there at $126 billion compared to those MIGA products. So the story has really been fixed indexed annuities here in 2025. Always find these charts very interesting. I'm happy Limmer's around to do these things for us, but it's nice to see that fixed index annuities are back in the fold, because of course for you agents that means more commission in your pocket at the same time. And folks, I mean, if you're not involved in annuities, again, I'm beating a dead horse here. Look at these numbers. Since 2019, year-over-year growth has happened with annuity sales. Save for that 2020 where COVID happened, yeah, that affected every industry. But year-over-year growth in fixed annuity sales. Last year being a bit of an anomaly. That was a huge year there at $434 billion. So it's pretty incredible to see these numbers here. 2025 is already looking like a huge year. Look at this. U.S. annuity sales set new record in first half of 2025. Again, if you're not on board, it is time to get on board with looking at fixed annuities. I mean, these numbers here, fixed rate deferred annuity sales climbed 9% to $44 billion. Total sales increased 5% to 116 in the second quarter of 2025. Huge figures here. Get on board with us and join us on this annuity journey. And it's easy to understand why these sales are happening so much. I found this article in Advisor today. Annuities are bringing peace of mind, right? We have a lot of uncertainty happening right now. Clients want that comfort. They're able to get that comfort with these products. We all have a license, an insurance license. That insurance license gives you the ability to secure and protect your client's money in uncertain times. Help them do that. Start talking about these products. Talk with Josh, talk with Bill, talk with the folks here at Levinson and Associates. They can absolutely help you out. Here's the thing I thought was really interesting. Nearly a fifth of recent annuity buyers start new relationships with financial professionals to make an annuity purchase. Now, this is wild to me, because when I started doing annuities 17 plus years ago, annuities were a bad word. They had low consumer sentiment. Now people are interested in them. And all this nationwide survey is showing is that the main reason a lot of people meet with a financial professional in the first place is to discuss annuity options. So if your door opener is talking about life insurance, if your door opener is Medicare, whatever that is, it can be annuities, and you can have that conversation with folks. I thought this was a very interesting article, something you should absolutely keep in mind when you're talking about fixed annuities. So let's dive right in here because I want to provide some value for you guys and some unique things. 3 reasons you should be talking about fixed annuities today. Market volatility absolutely being one of them. Now, if you look at S&P numbers, I mean, you've seen what the market is doing. By all accounts, the market looks great, right? I mean, it seems a bit overheated, if you will. It's up 11.5% as of this morning. That could be even higher. It's what 2 o'clock here Eastern time. Yeah, it could be even higher as of right now. I saw Oracle was popping 40% today based on some new earnings that they had shown. Different companies, mostly in the tech sector, have just been absolutely exploding because of AI, and that is really leading to this increase in the S&P and the NASDAQ and seeing all-time highs happen almost week by week, it seems like. But that in itself creates some volatility, right? That creates some uncertainty of, did I mistime the market? Of, is it too late to get in? Or are we going to see some type of big correction happen here as interest rate changes happen? A lot of questions that people still have despite the market looking so strong. And that's where they need to look at fixed annuities to protect their dollars. You have tariff uncertainty, you have inflation happening and just eating away at people's savings when they put money into a savings account that's earning 0.1%. We all seen it before. People will have hundreds of thousands of dollars sitting in a savings account getting 0.1%. It's awful. Help them by talking about fixed annuities. I'm sure all of you have seen unemployment numbers and interest rate changes coming up. I mean, this is just things that all point to market volatility in the future and more reasons why your clients should be considering fixed annuities for security. Let's jump into those interest rates because interest rate urgency is a real thing, team. The Fed is looking to cut rates really any day now. I mean, it could be on the 15th is when they're looking to start doing some rate cuts here. And you're seeing the articles. You're seeing all these things pop up about Fed rates changing and things happening with the market. Rate drops are okay for if you're getting a mortgage or if you're financing that boat or that new car or that truck for work, whatever you're doing. Yeah, Fed cuts could be a good thing, but in our industry, I'm talking about interest rate urgency. We have high rates right now, but if the Fed starts cutting interest rates, that's going to lower those MIGA rates. It's a good reason to call your clients right now and make sure that they're locking in the highest possible MIGA fixed deferred rates in the country right now. And I'm going to show you some examples of those here in a minute. So there's a lot of interest rate urgency because even if your clients are not that familiar with financial terms or they're not that financially savvy, they know what the S&P is doing. They see it on TV and they know that there's a lot of talk about interest rate drops right now. And you need to hit that home because it will affect MIGA rates as they stand right now. And then, folks, another reason you need to be talking about annuities right now, I did mention this last quarter too, but I want to drive this point home. Your current book of business is your best lead resource. Whether you've been doing life insurance sales for years, or Medicare sales, or ACA sales, or maybe you're a securities professional as well, your current book of business is your best lead resource. And you really need to consider these annuity replacements, these annuity refinancing opportunities, if you will. There are several reasons why. But first of all, what is an annuity replacement? What is annuity refinancing? If you had a client purchase an annuity 3, 4, 5 years ago, they bought that annuity at very low rates. And because we're in a higher interest rate environment, you can put your clients in a much better position today than when they purchased that annuity. And you absolutely need to consider doing that for your clients or maybe a person you just met. Why you need to consider annuity replacements? You have higher interest rates today. The cost of inflation is eating away at those folks' money. Think about it. If they bought an annuity in 2021, they might only have a 3.5 or a 4% cap to the S&P. There are caps out there with the S&P 500 over 10%, over 12%. higher growth potential for your clients by simply helping them move from one annuity to another. And Josh and Bill and RJ, all these guys can help you do this with your client base right away, or even somebody that you just met. There's new products today that can suit your clients' needs better than ever before. You know, a higher interest rate environment allows these carriers to be a little more creative in the types of products that they create. So that's really nice for these folks to have. So you have new things in your belt, if you will, that you're able to offer your clients. What I love most, let's say you have that client you talk to, and they say, "Hey, Chris, I've already purchased an annuity. Yeah, well, we don't need to talk about that." Yes, you do. For these 3 reasons above, number 4, you absolutely need to talk to your clients who already have an annuity ASAP. It's such a great story. And you know, this is actually something that's been going on in the news too. Like, look at this article. Clients are seeing this at the same time. 3 reasons it may be time for an annuity refresh. I mean, I thought it was great. You used to not see annuity articles like this, and now clients are getting front and center with the fact that they may need a new product. They may need to refresh their annuity, refinance it, replace it with a new product, and it's a great opportunity for you agents as well. So great stuff there. If you have questions on annuity replacements, I know the team at Levinson and Associates can absolutely help you out. Okay, but let's get into the meat and potatoes here because I want to cover a few things in some detail. Products and ideas here to drive your sales. Let's start off with those MIGAs. You know, we opened the conversation a little bit about some of these multi-year guarantee rates dropping once the Fed decides to drop interest rates. And you could absolutely see that happening in the next week. There's a bit of interest rate urgency here, like I said a few slides ago. But MIGA rates right now still fantastic. If you're looking closely, you got some rates at 6% still, folks. A 5-year MIGA at 6%, your client's not getting that at a bank. They're not going to be getting that in a Vanguard account. They're not going to be getting that in a SPAX Fidelity account. They're not going to be getting that in some money market account or savings account at a bank or anything like that. This is where they can look to. You have to help your clients get there. 6% available for 5 years. A ton of good options out there. A ton of good options out there. So this is just an overview of some fantastic MIGA rates that are out there. Rates still look good, but they will be directly affected if the Fed drops those rates here coming up soon. Now I'm going to present a few ideas. Like, yes, there are products attached to these ideas because that's just a great way to learn about them. But I want us to take the whole story kind of as a whole here because I have a replacement idea for you. We just talked about those annuity replacements. Folks, this Revel 1 carrier has this Endurus 10 bonus product with a 16% premium bonus to it. 16% premium bonus, no fees or anything like that. It's on a 10-year chassis, 3% fixed rate, 7% S&P. Look at this last line here. You can replace an annuity that is only 1 year old with Revel 1. If you had somebody purchase an annuity on September 10th, 2024, and they're not happy with the growth that's happened with it at their anniversary, and they're not happy with their cap being only, let's say, 4.5%, you can replace it with the Revel 1 Endurus 10. Not only with Revel 1 though, a lot of carriers will look for an annuity to be 2-3 years old, and you can replace that annuity. And a great way to do that is to get a product with a premium bonus, similar to this Revel 1 product, that has excellent S&P caps and fixed rates. Because if you had someone from 2021 who purchased an annuity with company X, they probably had lower S&P caps than 7%. It's possible they had a lower fixed rate than 3% too. You can replace that annuity. It's a great way to put a client into a better position to make more money with that S&P cap now than ever before. Revel 1's unique because they can replace one that is only 1 year old if a client's unhappy with it. Great reason to take a look at Revel 1 there. These folks definitely have more information for you. Let's look at this product for clients over 80. So again, just presenting more ideas for clients over 80. Why is this product great? There are few products for clients available at age 89 that are a 10-year FIA. Let me rephrase that. There are very few 10-year FIAs available for clients at age 89. I think maybe 3, to give you an idea. This product's available, and it's got a 10.75% S&P cap, 5.05% fixed rate. Folks, look at that line at the bottom. No commission reduction up to age 89. Not only is it a fantastic product with an A- rated carrier, there are no commission reductions up to age 89. Think about that. You've all seen what these products do past 80. If you're looking at an indexed annuity for a client over 80, 81 up, you might as well sell a multi-year guarantee at that point. Not here. It's impressive. So consider that, put that note down. If you have a client over 80 years old looking for an index product, maybe they just want to pass the funds on to someone else, name a beneficiary. Maybe they just want more growth in it because they think their longevity will be to 100 plus. Great product here, Exonic Trailhead, and no commission reduction up to age 89. Very unique. Again, more ideas here. Have a client with flexible premiums. Maybe they need something where they can put some, be flexible with their premiums, where they're going to add more money to it. Maybe they're going to start low, but then add more money to it down the road. This Equitrust Market 10, still one of my favorites. I think I mentioned this product almost every time I do this for this quarterly webinar, just because it's so unique. Where it's different than last quarter is that it has an 11% premium bonus years 1 through 5 instead of an 8% premium bonus. So that is something new. Folks, that means if your client puts money into it today, they put $10,000 into it, it's going to get an 11% premium bonus. If next year they put another $10,000, it's going to get an 11% premium bonus. If the next year, so on and so forth for the first 5 years, they will receive an 11% premium bonus to that money. An excellent flex premium product. Look at that line right there in the middle, return of premium built in. If your client puts money into this product, they can walk away with no surrender charge at any time with their original premium. No interest growth. They can walk away at any time. Have any of you had that client that says, oh, my uncle had an annuity and he couldn't get his money out? Well, they probably meant it had a surrender charge to it, like all annuities do. So maybe that person had a bad agent. But at the same time, avoid that in conversation entirely, because this product has return of premium built into it, no fee. Hey, Mr. Client, you want to walk away from this, you can get your money back. No interest, but you can get your money back out of this. Excellent product, still love it, and now with an 11% bonus for the first 5 years instead of an 8% bonus. I don't know how long that'll last, so take a look. What if you need just a large premium bonus up front? Okay, this just happened as of September 4th. That's why I love doing these quarterly, and this is a great time because a lot of new things have come out. As of September 4th, North American has increased their premium bonus by 2% on their Charter Plus product. North American is an A+ rated carrier with AM Best as well. Their Charter Plus now has a 14% premium bonus. If you're willing to take a fee, if your client's like, hey, you know, I need an even larger premium bonus, I'm willing to accept a 95 basis point fee annually, this product has up to a 23% premium bonus with a 95 basis point fee annually. That's spectacular. For annuity replacements, this could be used as well. Up to a 23% premium bonus. As long as it makes sense for the client, this can be considered. Folks, many companies are now very open to doing replacements on these things with these big premium bonus products. I was talking to my rep at American National, and they have a 14% premium bonus product as well. They'll take up to a 5% negative loss on it, meaning the client could have a 19% surrender charge. They could still get the 14% premium bonus product. If you include a letter from the client and explain reasons why they want to move, they'll consider that type of business. So it's really remarkable what we're seeing here in the annuity replacement space. Just keep that in mind. next time you give the folks at Levinson a call. Now, here's one I want to spend a little bit of time on. I'm going to get my spotlight out here. This product is brand new. It's about a month old. It's called the Smart Boost Index. Real fast though, Bill, I should stop and ask because I know I'm rambling on. Does anybody have any questions that they want me to cover before I kind of go in depth here with this product?
I think we are okay. Andrew, anything outstanding that we want to ask Chris?
All questions have been answered so far.
Okay, we're good to go.
Good deal. Okay, look, I just want to ask because I know I'm speeding along here, just trying to provide quick bits for you to be able to give these folks a call right away. But this product is unique, and it takes a little bit of learning with it as well. It's pretty unique though what it offers. It's the new Equitrust Smart Boost Index. This product has a no-fee built-in 40% boost to it. Notice they didn't say premium bonus, but it's a boost and it's extremely unique. Let's look at the second paragraph. I'm just going to read it. Clients are guaranteed a 40% return over 10 years with the potential for even more growth based on the performance tied to the S&P. 40% return over 10 years vested at 4% annually. When I hear that, I hear 4% is your hero instead of 0 is your hero. Think about it. You're getting a guaranteed 4% every single year for 10 years with this product. If your client's been burned in the past by an annuity or maybe an index that just didn't perform for them, well, what about if instead of 0 is your hero, what if 4% is your hero? Every single year for the 10-year term period for a 40% return that is guaranteed at the end of 10 years. That's an excellent story to have for somebody. I'm going to show you how this works here. Let's jump right in. I'm grabbing my spotlight. Let's take this example. We're going to go slow with a 0% growth in this index. So we're going to use the 50% participation rate. By the way, I do want to jump back here. This product also has great rates. 8% S&P cap, 50% S&P par rate, a 50% par rate. There's not a lot of products out there with a premium bonus or a boost of some sort with a 50% par rate. You usually see that in the 20s, maybe low 30 percentile of an S&P par rate. So that alone is impressive with this product. But let's say this index does nothing. Let's say the S&P 500 just does nothing for 10 years, which isn't likely at all, and it's never happened. But let's just do worst case scenario. So you have a client here, male 65, $100,000 going in with a 40% boost. Your accumulation value starts at $100,000, right? Check out this column. This is your 4% coming in every single year, guaranteed till year 10. And then in year 10, your accumulation value is $140,000. Guaranteed after that 10-year vesting period. It's very, very impressive that you can show somebody, hey, no matter what happens in the market, that $100,000 is going to be $140,000. That's an amazing story. Now, if you're paying attention to this and you look on the right column, 60-month installment death benefit, notice day one death benefit, $140,000. Now, beneficiary has to take that $140,000 over 60 months, but still, let's say you have an older client, health isn't doing so great, they have this money, they want to name a beneficiary and get a little bump on the money too at the same time. Boom, day one, 5-year payout of a death benefit of $140,000. That's amazing. That's a product that also builds a legacy on top of giving guaranteed growth at the same time. If you have an unhealthy client, someone who just doesn't have life insurance as an option, that's a fantastic story. So we just looked at this with 0% growth. Let's look at it with the 50% participation rate now. With the 50% participation rate to the S&P 500, you have your $100,000, your $40,000 boost, You have your accumulation value. This is the growth in the most recent 10-year period with the S&P 500 at a 50% participation rate. Those are your interest credits going in. Folks, it's far and away higher than what it would be getting 4% per year. Notice in year 10, you have $201,987. Your money is doubled with that 50% participation rate. And not only that, your death benefit starts to grow alongside it as well. Your lump sum death benefits growing and equal to the accumulation value. It's an amazing, amazing story. So what if you're able to tell a client, hey, you're guaranteed to get $140,000. You're going to have that $40,000 in this $100,000 at the end of 10 years. It could grow to as much as maybe $201,000 at the same time based on this 50% participation rate. What an amazing story that you have for somebody, and you're giving them that peace of mind of a day one death benefit boost as well. That's a very unique product. That's making 4% your hero instead of 0 is your hero with this product. It's an amazing, unique story that's come out of Equitrust. And some different sales ideas to think about with this thing. You get the 40% boost, vested at 4% annually over 10 years. You get good market loss recovery. Hey, have they had losses in the market? Some people have, despite the market doing great. Maybe they took some swings that didn't work out. This can offset some of those losses with a 40% boost and a 50% participation rate. How about leaving a legacy? Does somebody want to leave a legacy? Are they older? Maybe they just want to have a boost to their death benefit, something they want to leave behind for others. Day one death benefit with the 40% boost. That is an amazing story. Just remember, again, they have to take that boosted death benefit over 5 years. But it's still an excellent story. Quite honestly, some beneficiaries need to have a payment plan instead of receiving giant lump sums. It's just true. How about Roth IRA conversions? We haven't really talked about that here, but Roth IRA conversions are a huge story. Equitrust has an entire platform for Roth IRA conversions. Here's an excellent product to be able to offset some of the taxation of moving money from a qualified account to a Roth IRA. So many different sales ideas baked into one product. I thought that was extremely unique, a really cool move here from Equitrust with the Smart Boost product. I know the folks at Levins can help out with any illustrations, further questions, and provide all the product information possible. Again, this one has only been around for about a month from Equitrust. Folks, with that being said, I talked about a lot of bells and whistles, a lot of different features. When it really comes down to it, there are 5 huge benefits to fixed annuities. So if you're a newbie with annuities or even been around a long time, it's good to just remember some of the most powerful things fixed annuities can do. They offer growth potential. They offer principal security. They offer liquidity, lifetime income, and that amazing tax deferral benefit that they give clients as well. All these features are nice, but the power of annuities and telling that story to clients really comes down to these 5 things. The folks at Levinson have a lot of tools like this here to have these conversations too. So I'm sure if you give them a call, they'll be able to help out with anything like that on top of the products and ideas that we just discussed. With that, Bill, that's all from me, unless you have some questions that you'd like me to help answer.
That was awesome. Perfect. Spot on. Andrew, do we have anything else for Chris before we have a few slides left here and wrap up? Anything else?
Yep, I just have one question here if we have a second. So
Okay.
Penny is asking, in the example that you just showed with the 40% boost product, she's asking, could the beneficiary have this? She's saying, can you have a 6-year distribution be deposited into another annuity automatically, or a designated amount into a new annuity? I don't know if that, I've just read directly off her question. I hope that makes sense.
I mean, this product has 7% free withdrawals, and that's a pretty common strategy that people do, or they take some withdrawals from a product and move it into another annuity. However, as far as the death benefit goes, if they are receiving a 5-year death benefit, the client would have to take that money, pay taxes on the gains on it, of course, and then they could move it into an annuity. So they won't directly put the death benefit like that into another annuity. I hope that answers the question.
That makes sense. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, that's great. And also, Penny, keep in mind, and everybody else that's listening, as soon as we're done here in about 10 minutes, we can have Josh or RJ reach out or vice versa, whatever works for you. So we want to make sure everyone is comfortable. Okay. All right. Good stuff, Chris. We appreciate you as always. And we'll see you again one more time before we wrap up 2025. And I have a feeling we're going to be talking about these record numbers again. So it's so important for all agents to know enough to be dangerous, move the needle, leverage your resources here at Levinson and with our trainings, especially with Coach Chris. Take advantage of this stuff and write things down and obviously use some of these new strategies in your marketing and even sales calls and emails and mailers this afternoon. So, Chris, again, thank you. I have a couple other things here, how to get started. So, that 40% boost, the 4% new instead of 0 is your hero floor, now 4% is your hero floor. That's huge. I mean, I wrote that down. I mean, we're going to start marketing this. I'm going to look into this for myself, for my friends. I mean, it's unbelievable. So this is why it's so important. I always say this, you got to just tune in, know what's going on, know enough to be dangerous. And if you can pick up a nugget or two, it was worth the 45, 50 minutes you spent with us on a webinar, on a podcast, whatever it is. Okay. But we're always, including our entire marketing team. We have 11 people, right? I always say every Tuesday we have our marketing calls and, we always talk about, I don't know everything. Carrie doesn't know everything. We go around the whole room, right? We all don't know everything. There's so many updates and changes and movement in this industry, but together as a team, right? And then knowing where to go, we have a question. We do know pretty much everything. Okay. And it's the same exact thing for you all, right? And we're here to help you every step of the way. So with contracting, okay, take advantage. This is a big deal. So if you're on any special program, an incentive deal that maybe you worked out with someone, whatever it is, okay, we will match or beat your commission, okay, with any company. On top of that, cash for contracting or orphan leads for contracting. What does it mean? If you're with Equitrust, for example, right now, and you want to move over to Levinson, you have a release if needed. Okay, we match or beat your comp. Okay, no problem. And then as soon as you place your first annuity app, boom, cash for contracting or orphan leads with your first placed app. Done. Okay, or we have the $150 cash first app incentive. You get to pick. But anyway, we make it a no-brainer, and then you get to leverage all of our resources, trainings, lead programs, all the above. Let's keep moving forward. What I want to do next is talk about our e-app platform with iPipeline. So, and I'm just going to mention this quickly, okay, because we know all about Firelight, right? We have a lot of carriers that exclusively use the platform, and it's also available to Levinson agents. On top of that, think about this for a second. If you're familiar with our website, with iPipeline, with iGo, the e-app and drop ticket system, okay, it's the same exact thing, but for annuities. So that's what a firm for annuities, that's exactly what it is. And we spoke about this at our expo about 6 months ago. And here's what's so cool, okay? Number one, we're launching with 3 companies, not just 2 anymore, 3 companies. And as soon as you fill out the application with your client over the phone, through Zoom, face to face, that information is sent to the carrier in real time and then sent to our AMS system, which is agency management system. So it shows up for our case managers, contracting, so we can check anything that's outstanding or needed, follow up with you. And the best part, you have your own portal through our website today. So you're going to see not only the life apps, the annuity apps as well, which you see anyway, but sometimes there's a lag, okay, depending on if we get feeds or not. But with the Affirm e-app platform, boom, everything real time. And none of this costs you a penny. Okay, so this is going to be a huge game changer on top of Firelight, on top of everything else that we offer. So you got to jot that one down. You'll see an upcoming training. We already had our in-house training, so we are ready to go. Let's keep moving. So our 101 training platform for the annuity side, And even if you're saying, Bill, I'm not a 101 agent, it's okay. We have two parts to this, and I'm going to explain to you why. So the 101 side, okay, yes, it's exactly what it sounds like. 101, if you're newer or you just want to freshen up on annuity knowledge, we have a 3-part series. When you're done, graduate, 3 parts, you get your certificate. You're now a Levinson sales professional on the annuity side. We email this to you. You can print it, frame it, do whatever we have. Some agents use it in their signature, but whatever you want, whatever you're comfortable with. But I would market this stuff, get it on your website and social media. Then let's go to part 2 here. This is for the more seasoned agents. I would actually do both, but this is all sitting in our dashboard. It's all complimentary. And yes, you do have to be appointed with at least one company with Levinson, and you get free access. But here's what's so neat about this. So Charles and in fact, I was on all of these calls, but Charles, us, about 40 to 60 agents did a 8-week live workshop, and then we recorded it. Now, here's what's so cool. We take you, the agent, through the entire sales process from A to Z. We use these real life examples, okay? And we pretend, oh, this is Harry, the client, and this is Jenny, the agent. And what would you do with this rebuttal? And no, if the client says this, where do you go from here? And what resources can you pull from or download or market? All the above. So this is awesome. If you haven't seen it yet, it's 8 hours of training. And this is more for the more, I would say, seasoned annuity agent, but takes you from A to Z in literally in 8 hours, or skip around if you want, but it's awesome. I can promise you that. Let's keep moving forward. What I want to do next, real fast, is talk about the lead program. So on the annuity side, as you know, leads are very hard to come by, or they're very expensive. Okay, so we worked out a great co-op pricing discount for our agents. Think of Costco versus the neighborhood supermarket, right? So you're basically riding the coattails of 24,000 plus agents and getting this type of discount at $685 for a 1,000-piece mailer, focused on annuities. Your name and address is on each mailer. So that means you control the leads, not a third-party vendor. That's a big deal. Okay. And then we give you a chance, bottom left corner, where we help pay for all of your marketing and leads as well once you start writing with Levinson. So it's a great opportunity to get your foot in the door and have us pay for your marketing. Andy, let's keep moving forward. So real fast, social media posts. Now, I always try to go in Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and we pull up whatever topic it is of the week. So this week was annuities, FIA. And here's what's so interesting, right? We're showing you 3 posts that performed outstanding. Okay, here, and just take a look at this. And I always say, you don't have to go out and reinvent the wheel, change a few spokes, right? This is already done for us. Very simple. Okay, here, over 300 likes, over 170 shares, over 20 comments. And left-hand side, did you know only retirees need annuities? Wrong. Fact, during your working years, annuities can provide a conservative growth of your money on a tax-deferred basis. Okay, that created almost 20 leads that you should be reaching out to. Same exact thing in the middle section. Okay, very simple. Let's move over to the right-hand side. Number 3, reminder, you can get life insurance or an annuity that also offers long-term care coverage. Did you know? Right? And if the client says, oh, it's very hard to qualify for, I already tried a life policy with an LTC rider. Well, guess what? We now have a guaranteed option for you, guaranteed issue option on the annuity side with an LTC rider and death benefit. Win, win, win across the board. And as long as the financial suitability is there, boom, it's approved. Okay? So there's so many ways you can move the needle and open doors to new prospects, but you got to try it. Get it out there. Even if you get 2 likes and 1 question, okay? That could be 2 or 3 free leads just because you put out a post. So you should be doing this on your own. You should go into Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, put in Indexed Universal Life. Right? It usually gives you 2 options for recent posts or top performing. I always like to look at top performing, and then I want to see what's working for others. Okay, you should be doing the same thing at least once a week. All right, let's keep moving forward. This is unbelievable, game changer, one of my favorite episodes in my 8-year history with doing the podcast. So we launched this a couple days ago. Kent is our agent for many, many years. He has literally 10 times his sales in the last about 10 to 12 months. He's absolutely crushing it. He's got a great story. It's an hour long, complimentary. It's on every podcast platform, YouTube. And I'm telling you right now, if you don't listen in, okay, you're in reverse around New York City on a horse, okay, with no wheels, which doesn't make sense. So you don't want to be doing it. Make sure you check it out. I'd like to hear your thoughts after. Let's keep moving. Okay, these are some of our upcoming trainings. These are great. Some of these have free CE now, so you can take advantage of this on the 2nd of October. So around the corner, we're having a breakfast and learn, and it happens to be our part 2 IUL workshop series with free CE credit. So you're getting free breakfast, free CE, free training. We'll all be there. It's a great time, and it's going to help you move the needle in the IUL space. Right-hand side, same thing with Manhattan Life. That one is on November the 7th, 9 a.m. in South Florida. These are for local agents. If you're not local, we have these on a webinar version as well. We can send you. Let's keep moving forward. We're almost done. We have about 2 minutes, and we'll get everyone out on time. Future training events. This is kind of like our dinner menu when you sit down, right, for lunch or dinner or brunch, whatever. These are all of our webinars that are upcoming. And just a few that I want to point out. Banner Life has a new process for collateral assignments. They make it so easy. On top of the instant decision to 4 million on Insure Me Now Direct. Just under that, Assurity Life, also on Insure Me Now Direct. Just under that, Kansas City Life. We're having a re-grand opening version to talk about all of the latest and greatest with them. And then on the right-hand side, our lead vendors coming in for an hour. That's going to be huge. Life and annuity leads, and then Columbus Life, and then, of course, our Lincoln, FIA, and MIGA products. We're going to jump in, and then Baltimore Life, another re-grand opening on the annuity side and on the life side. Let's go to our final slide. We'll put a bow on this and have my question of the day. It's right at 3 p.m. Eastern, which is fantastic because we're on time. This is great. My Positive Tuesday quote: you don't have to be smarter than the rest. You have to be more persistent than the best. Well, isn't that true, right? You don't have to be the rocket scientist, right? Just keep that foot on the gas, day in and day out, persistent, consistent, okay? And don't just be full of words. What's your action plan behind the words, right? What's the plan that's going to separate you from the others? And it doesn't matter if you're a wholesaler, if you're in retail, if you're a client, selling shoes or in the medical field. Okay, what separates you from the others? And that should be your hard work, being persistent and consistent with everything you do 24/7. Okay, period. Okay, question of the day. Whoever answers first and correct wins the Apple AirPods in our IUL prospecting book. Question is, I mentioned the 60-second close. Tell me who was the creator of the 60-second annuity close, otherwise known as the napkin presentation. The 60-second close in the annuity space. Tell me who created it. You walk away with the new Apple AirPods and the prospecting book on us. Andrew's going to tell us who was first, who was correct. Andrew?
Yes, we have Janet B. Janet B.
Janet B. Congrats. The answer, Coach Charles. Okay, I just mentioned the meeting we had yesterday, the webinar we had the week before. We'll include all of this in our thank you email. He's also on the 8-hour and the 8-week workshop focused on annuities. Let's have a great rest of your Wednesday. Great rest of the week. Great selling. I hope you walked away with a few nuggets. Any questions, give us a call anytime. Okay? Thank you again.